wondered if you could comment about the other shooting that took place in that community.
Yeah, I see.
You mentioned the National Guard going in, law enforcement, but this was a young man, 17-year-old, who's facing murder charges for having shot 2 people.
Yeah.
There's some folks who've said conservatives are holding up this young man as, having done so within his rights to sort of self-protect. And I'm wondering if you've read much about this case, if you have concerns about ordinary residents with guns in situations like this and what dangers that might present.
Well, that's under investigation right now, and they'll be reporting back to me over the next 24 hours, 48 hours maybe max, and we'll have a comment about it. But that is right now we're looking at it very, very carefully. What we are doing with it's a great state, Wisconsin, great state, and they should not have to put up with what they went through. And so the National Guard has done a fantastic job.
Kyle Rittenhouse, 17, was arrested and charged with killing 2 people in Kenosha, Wisconsin, on August 25. One person was shot and killed in Portland, Oregon, on August 29 in a clash between Trump supporters and Black Lives Matter protesters. Biden and Trump both addressed the recent violence.
We're looking at all of it. That was an interesting situation. You saw the same tape as I saw, and he was trying to get away from them, I guess, it looks like, and he fell, and then they very violently attacked him, and it was something that we're looking at right now, and it's under investigation, but I guess he was in very big trouble. He would have been. He probably would have been killed. But it's under investigation.
Do you think private citizens should be taking guns?
I'd like to see law enforcement take care of everything. I think everything should be taken care of law enforcement. But again, we have to give our cops back, our police back, their dignity, the respect. They're very talented people. They're strong. They're tough. They can do the job. But we've taken it away. We don't want to have. When somebody makes a mistake, he chokes, or in some cases you have bad cops, so we have to take care of that. In other cases, they choke. They have a quarter of a second to make a decision. And sometimes they make the wrong decision. If they make the wrong decision, if they make the wrong decision in the other direction, they're probably dead. So they choke sometimes. And that goes on the evening news for weeks. And the thousands and tens of thousands of great things they do, nobody covers that. Nobody writes about that. But if they make a mistake, and again, the bad cops, everybody agrees they have to be very tough on bad cops. But sometimes you have a cop or a police person who is a good police person, right? Good. But they choke. The timing, and they go through this, and they study this, and they work on it all the time. They literally have a quarter of a second to make some of these decisions. And they make a wrong decision, and it's very devastating. But I will say this, I honor law enforcement. We wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for law enforcement. We have to stop this horrible left-wing ideology that seems to be permeating our country. And basically it's weakness. It's weakness on behalf of Democrat politicians. The Republicans, we don't have problems. You take a look at our cities. Our cities are doing very well. They're safe. They're secure. I spent a lot of time in Texas, as you know, just a couple of days ago, and I was with the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott. He was explaining they wouldn't put up with it for a minute. They just don't have the kind of problems that other people have. Thank you very much.
Former President Donald Trump on Tuesday revealed that he met with Kyle Rittenhouse, the teenager who was acquitted last week on all charges after fatally shooting 2 people during last year's protests in Kenosha, a little while ago, and praised the 18-year-old who has emerged as a hero among conservative circles. In an interview with Fox News' Sean Hannity on Tuesday night, Trump said he met with the 18-year-old and his mother at Mar-a-Lago after Rittenhouse called and wanted to know if he could come over and say hello.
Kyle, I got to know him a little bit. He called. He wanted to know if he could come over and say hello, because he was a fan, unlike the other guy. He came over with his mother. Really a nice young man, and what he went through, that was prosecutorial misconduct. He should not have had to suffer through a trial for that. He was going to be dead. If he didn't pull that trigger, that guy that put the gun to his head, In 1/4 of a second, he was going to pull the trigger. Kyle would have been dead. He's a really good young guy. He's 18 years old, just left Mar-a-Lago a little while ago, and he should never have been put through that. That was prosecutorial misconduct, and it's happening all over the United States right now with the Democrats.
During the interview, Fox News showed a picture of the teenager posing with Trump in his Florida resort. Trump's interview with Hannity comes just a day after Rittenhouse appeared on the network on Tucker Carlson's show. In his interview with Carlson, Rittenhouse accused President Joe Biden of malice and defamation. The 18-year-old said he took issue with a 2020 tweet from Biden, which included a photo of Rittenhouse, and urged then-President Donald Trump to disavow white supremacists. The teenager insisted his case has nothing to do with politics and noted that he supports the Black Lives Matter movement and the right to peaceful protest. Last week, a jury found Rittenhouse not guilty on 5 charges of homicide and recklessly endangering safety following 3 days of deliberations.